All right. Hello, and welcome to another Win Daily Sports Show. My name is Michael Fazil. I got my man Ghost here with me, and we are here live on HNB Media TV. We are going to be breaking down this super tiny slate. MLK Day was fun, had a lot of great games. That Bucks Nets game was awesome. Now they only give us 2 games for tonight. We're going to enjoy them. We're going to take advantage of them. We're going to bet on them. We're going to play DFS on them. And we're going to have some fun with it. Ghost Man, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, bro. How about yourself?
It's a good day to be alive, brother. It is a good day to be alive. I, as you know, came back from paradise recently, but I've been getting out in there. It's about 40 degrees here, so not too terrible yet. And I'm going on my walks daily, so we're getting out of the house. We're still doing some stuff. We're doing some cool things over here at Win Daily Sports. If you haven't already, check us out, windailysports.com. We can help you with betting, DFS. We're working on a couple really cool projects right now with some major athletes, which I'm excited about. We're going to do some cool, crazy stuff in 2021. We're going to take fucking advantage of it. So I'm very excited about that. And please, if you haven't already, which I don't know why you haven't, smash that like button, as those YouTubers love to say. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to. And again, it's a 2-game slate, guys. We can only talk about 2 games for so long. So please ask us all the questions you have. We're gonna work in a little bit more betting. We're gonna get some player props in there. I'm sure Ghost has some awesome PRAs that he loves, maybe a couple fun ones. Last night our best didn't quite work. You are so down on your Raptors. They come out and absolutely smack Luka in the face. That didn't quite work out that well.
As a Raptors fan, I could say they should have had probably 15 offensive fouls for moving screens. I'm not even saying that because I bet them. That was like, bro, Chris Boucher's taking the guys out there, Tusi sliding 3 steps to the left, running moving screens, and they're not calling it. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, obviously it's nice that we got the win, and from that aspect it's fun. Then not so fun when I end up betting the Mavs, the Mavs money line, but that was just, and then they come out hot from deep. Tim Hardaway Jr. goes like 0 for 37 from the field.
Yeah,
so that was quite a ride, but that's okay. It happens.
Hey man,
James Harden broke our hearts with 3 threes over 3.5. Had a wide open one right at the end of the fourth too. I thought that was cash money, but Brooklyn money line hit, and the over on that game hit too. So we'll gladly take the 2 for 2 day.
The over. I actually had Detroit plus 6.5 as well, and I was sweating the shit out of those last 5 minutes of that game. They'd be down by 3, then be down by 6, and then at one point they're down by 8. They hit the 3, and then there's you rarely ever see an NBA game end in free throws now, that's just kind of, and this of course is the one game that has to end in free throws. So that was a lot of fun, but we are here. We are excited to break these 2 games down with us. And we do have some people in the chat. Again, appreciate the heck out of you guys. Brian, how was the honeymoon? Dude, it was awesome. Spent some time in St. Lucia. It was super safe, which was great. Drank a lot of beer, ate a lot of food, sat on the beach for 7 days. It was 85 degrees, literally every single day. So would not trade it for the world. Any betting tips on the Pelicans game? I might be taking the over on the Zion points. We'll see. We'll see exactly what happens there. But let's look at it here. Let's bring the slate up again. It's a 2-gamer, so we're here to enjoy it. We're here to have some fun. Let's see what we can do. We're actually going to be using the odds from our friends over at PointsBet. So if you are not a part of PointsBet right now, make sure to go to pointsbet.com. Make sure to use promo code WINDAILY500. You get up to $500 in risk-free bets. Helps us out a lot, helps them out a lot, and we're going to make you some money here, so take advantage of it while you can. WINDAILY500. Go take advantage of it if you're in a state that allows PointsBet. So let's look at it here. The first game we have Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets are favored by 10. The Thunder are pretty bad. 10 points is a lot. I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot. Michael Porter Jr. looks like he's going to be out. Al Horford's out. Trevor Ariza hasn't even played yet this year. I don't even think so. We'll see there. Actually, you know what? Let's stop here for a second. I know we do this every once in a while, but 2-game slates. And in terms of betting, like, we'll have some fun with that. But how do you like to look at a 2-game slate, especially this one? It's not even like we had earlier this year where it's like Brooklyn and the Warriors and then the 2 LA teams. It's like, well, you get like the Pelicans and the Thunder and the Nuggets. It's not like super duper star teams. How do you look at this slate in particular, Ghostman?
Same kind of approach that I have on big slates. The only difference that we don't have on a slate like this is that we don't have to plant our flag and knock games out of contention, right? So with only 2 games on the slate, you don't really have all that much wiggle room, that's for sure. But it's the same kind of approach. We end up attacking these 10, 11, 12 game slates, and we're like, okay, which ones are we crossing off our list and we're not even looking at whatsoever. So in that case, I'm instead of doing that with full games, I'm really doing that with players, and rather than crossing guys off, it's more which one am I going to lock in 100% from a stud standpoint. So the guys that are most expensive from a price point and just have that raw points potential to be able to, really lead the slates in raw points. And then also from a value perspective, I really try and key in on at least one player in every one of my lineups.
I love it. Yeah, just want to make sure we're giving the people all the good information. So yeah, let's look back at it again. We have the Thunder on the road, 10-point underdogs. Again, pointsbet.com, promo code WINDAILY500. We're locking in Nikola Jokic. That's kind of, yes, I read all the article. Well, we only have one article. We had our expert roundtable, but each of you said you had to play Jokic. Is it this particular matchup? Is it this just the fact that he's pretty much the only star essentially on the slate? Why exactly? Just give me I guess 2 reasons why, other than the fact that this dude is a walking triple-double.
There you go. I like that you said it so that I didn't have to use one of my 2 reasons on that. But the first one being that there's nobody that will come remotely close in terms of up until 8:59 p.m. before the slate locks that has the raw points potential that Nikola Jokic has. So if you look at our projection model right now, he's around 9.5, just under 10 points higher than the next ranked player. And when you get up on a slate like that, it's not like yesterday's slate. We had Giannis, we had Harden, we had KD, we had a bunch of guys in the early slate. We had Trae Young, we had Damian Lillard, we had D'Angelo Russell that was popping really well, and obviously that worked out well for everybody that stacked Trae Young and D'Lo out there in that game. So when you end up on a slate like that and you're kind of just mix and matching studs, it can get a little tricky, and it's more so like, hey, am I playing 2 from the same game because I want them to go back and forth? Is there in a spot like yesterday, am I swapping one of Harden and KD for Luka? Hopefully you listened to the show and didn't end up doing, and played both Harden, KD, and Giannis, of course. Obviously, I said that they could combine for 200. They kind of let us down and combined for 190. So I guess we'll kind of shed a tear on that. But if you locked in all 3 of those guys, pay lines yesterday were around 240, 250. They were low again. People get too cute on recent slates. So you lock in those 3 guys, and you played our Archie out there in Chicago. We got us a nice 17 DK admin price at 3K. So Thad Young was popping 5 minutes before lock, obviously when Pat Williams got ruled out. So on a slate like that, it's kind of tough because you end up mix and matching studs. You don't really know what direction to go, and then now I got to find the value to go, and then on top of that, there's multiple guys on this slate here. There's nobody that comes remotely close to Nikola Jokic. And the second reason being that, if I could kind of transition into that one, is that you have 2 types of builds, right? So you have stars and scrubs, which is the build that we were talking about yesterday. And just for those that weren't tuned into the show yesterday, just to kind of explain it briefly, it's that's where you end up paying up for 3. I'll even say 3.5 players, depending on how expensive your studs are. If you get KD yesterday at 10K, you were able to kind of fit in a guy at that 6 to 7K range. That's not really a scrub. That's a nice mid-range player. Or you go the opposite route, and that's the balanced route, where you kind of load up on guys between that $5,500 to $7,500, maybe $8,000 range, and you just kind of go with that balanced build. For me tonight, I always try both builds no matter what. Obviously, starts and scrubs takes priority for me. Shout out to Locke and Adam. Obviously, we're all 3 of us preach that. But when you end up going the balanced route for this slate in particular, I'm not comfortable having my lineup ride on the likes of Mike Conley, Jamal Murray, Lou Dort, Darius Baisley. Like these are guys that are in, like, when you find yourself in the mid-range and in that balanced type of build, one of your main contributors has to be Lou Dort or Darius Baisley. That's a serious problem for me.
Yeah, that's understandable. So it sounds like you're going pretty heavy stars and scrubs in this one. But again, like the stars on this slate outside of Jokic, I mean, there's really nobody. I mean, I guess I don't think we consider Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, his price definitely doesn't indicate it. We have the New Orleans game. We have a couple guys over there, and I mean, on Utah, you got Donovan Mitchell. But like, where are the stars in this build outside?
That's exactly Jokic, it, right? So like that's why you, like, to me, it's not even a debate to possibly fade Jokic. Like, it's not even a conversation to be had. You should not have the words come out of your mouth, fade and Jokic in the same sentence on a slate like this. Like it should just, I said it in the round table. Yes, a lock on FanDuel. He's a lock on any possible site. Like even if there's a site that's not even legal in the Americas, like just you lock in Jokic on any site that you're playing, any platform, just play Jokic tonight. Like it's like, if you end up getting cute strictly from an ownership perspective, to me, I take that as a thanks for donating approach. You're paying the rake for other players. And you know what? You're going to tell me, yeah, but he's coming in 70% owned. Okay, that's 30% too low. Like even like, let's say, for example, whether you're running one lineup, you're running 5, you're running 10, you're running 25, you're running 150. What you need to do is you need to get over the field by a significant amount to be able to have that player actually contribute to the number of lineups that you're running. So if you're running 10 lineups, we won't use the drastic 150 example. Let's say 10 lineups. You're running 10 lineups and Jokic is coming in between 65 and 70% owned. We'll round up and say 70. It's a nice even number, 7 out of 10 lineups. What's the point of having him in 8 out of 10? Like, okay, you have one more lineup than the guy or girl to the left or to your right that has him in 7 out of 10. Just go all in. Mm-hmm. Now you have an extra 3. You have those 3 lineups that those people do not have with Nikola Jokic. So it's like, to me, is it risky going 100% on a single player? Absolutely. It's not something that I do very often, and it takes an extreme circumstance. This is an extreme circumstance. There's nobody that remotely comes close to the potential raw ceiling that Nikola Jokic has.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more important things. Again, you have to take those. What's up, Reggie? What have you guys won? Only like 100K, and you can find it on the website. One of our PGA writers took home 100K in NBA. So I think we're doing pretty well. I'd say we're doing pretty well. I guess then what else from this game? Like how, again, going back to a 2-game slate, like how are you running this back? What are you looking at? What are you looking to do? And just to go back to Nikola Jokic for a second, PRA sits at 44.5 right now. Juice is on the over. So that's always something to pay attention to. I think that's pretty something. Oh, Reggie's calling me a punk. What's up, Reggie, dude? I'm asking you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest NBA DFS player, but Ghost runs our entire NBA content team. So Ghost, you're more than welcome to let Reggie know. I don't know why is Reggie trolling us right now? Hey, everybody else in the chat, tell Reggie to go pound sand. Ghost, talk to me a little bit about the rest of this game. How are you feeling about it?
You could take it one of two ways, and that's you either run it back with the main OKC guy, and that's SGA, right? So you could kind of hope that obviously he's not going to keep up point for point with Jokic, or if he does, it's going to take him not only a ceiling game, that would be a career game for SGA, right? So let's temper our expectations a little bit and just kind of say, is he going to keep it close enough, especially when one of Jokic or Maul comes off the court, that, you know what, you could kind of have him going back and forth with Jokic, or you could round it out with at least 2 of these OKC value players or in the mid-range, kind of, because it is a 2-game slate. So some people are a little bit more expensive than they would be on a 10-game slate. You do have a lot of value there with Al Horford out in that front court. Darius Bazley is likely getting the start, along with Isaiah Roby out there too. So Roby's really cheap today. Again, he's likely going to be ridiculously high owned. So if you want to slot in somebody that in a value play, you can't expect too much from Isaiah Roby. Does he have that, I would say, 6 to 7, maybe even 8x upside? Yeah, absolutely. He's a guy that could attack the glass, but now he's going up against Jokic in the paint, right? So kind of temper expectation in the sense in that if the one spot that you think you're getting different is with Isaiah Roby tonight, you're going to have to get different elsewhere because a lot of people are on him. He's likely going to be one of the top 5 highest owned plays on the entire slate, simply because of how cheap he is and the fact that he starts. So one player that a lot of people are on is George Hill. I'm going to go down a couple other $100 to a Denver value play, and that's PJ Dozier. So with MPJ out, you've kind of seen the likes of Monte Morris and PJ Dozier getting a little bit of extra run because you see it all the time on Twitter, and all the analysts are talking about it, that Denver needs some help. Like, and Adam actually brought it up in the chat the other day that they need to package MPJ and some picks to be able to get these guys some help, because when one of them comes off the court, it's a disaster. Like if they have a healthy lead, great. Then the game somewhat comes back to just being tight based on the negative run that they go. Or if it's nice and tight.
There you go.
But at the same time, if it's already a tight game, then they're all of a sudden they're down 6, 7, 8, and it's like, okay, crap, we got to put in Joker again, we got to put in Maul. Like they're running these guys into the ground, right? So they would need a third star, but coming off the bench, Monte Morris has been wildly inconsistent as of late. He was somebody that started the season off strong, getting in that 20 to 25 minute range, kind of being that secondary ball handler, similarly to another guy that I like out in Indiana, and that's TJ McConnell. Monte Morris plays that very similar type of role, right? Is he a guy that's going to go out and drop 25 raw points off the bench, a la Jordan Clarkson? No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen on any night. That's not just his game. But he's a guy that can fill up the stat sheet fairly well, given the amount of minutes that he plays. He's been pretty bad lately. Pretty bad. And you see PJ Dozier kind of getting into this range now, where it's been 3+ games where he's hit 24, 25, and 27 minutes. This is a guy that at 3,900, when Maul comes off the court, they need somebody to be out there and collect those garbage rebounds that Joker's not getting right under the basket, right? It's basketball. There's going to be some long rebounds. Guards get rebounds all the time. PJ Dozier is fairly active on the glass. He's even big enough that he plays some minutes at the 2. Sometimes they even slide him at the 3, depending on who's out there for OKC tonight, right? So at 3,900, he's coming in under 10% owned. Just the fact that you get a player under 10% on a 2-game slate, it's a huge ownership advantage. It's probably the biggest advantage that you could get is having somebody under 10% on. He's somebody that I'm locking in, especially at the small forward position. Not only is he a point guard, but he's small forward eligible on DraftKings too. We've kind of seen that wonky dual position eligibility with some players. Kevin Durant being center eligible, Giannis being center eligible comes to mind too. PJ Dozier at small forward. The small forward is really blow on this slate, so I'm going to be taking my shot on him. That's for sure.
I feel like you say that practically every night. Small forwards blow.
Small forwards blow. Like we even said it too. Like I forget who was asking me today. Someone's like, is there a specific position that you like to start your lineups with? And I was like, yeah, on FanDuel, it's center because you have to lock in one. Whereas on DraftKings, you can use Giannis, KD, and you don't have to play a guy like Brook Lopez, right? But if we keep it to both sites and kind of just a general rule, small forward is terrible. I don't know if it's just, and it's not even the nature of the league. It's just the way that some of these guys are positioned on these sites. A lot of them are positioned as shooting guards or power forwards when they're not, and it gets a little tricky. Small forward is really bad again tonight.
That's just kind of how it happens sometimes, but I think we can have some fun with this one. All right, let's go back to the chat where Reggie is just, Reggie, you got to chill out, man. Antonio, that's interesting. It's like Antonio, but a little different. How do you feel about George Hill and the Joker tonight? I know you said you're not really quite on George Hill, but I mean, you're making a bunch of different lineups. At some point, you got to play just about everybody, right? Yeah,
you could definitely have exposure to him. I mean, this is a slate where I would not recommend running a single bullet, right? And if you are, you need to stick to single entry contest. That just doesn't apply for 2-game slates, and it applies to every slate, right? If you're running one lineup in the main $15, $18, $20 contest, obviously DraftKings ends up switching it from night to night there, where there's 50, 60, 70,000 people in it. Please don't put it in that contest. Put it in the exact same dollar amount. If that's what you're willing to risk, that's great. It's $12, $15, $18, $20. Like I said, it varies per night. It's the main tournament. Obviously, it's fun to be able to take a shot at $100,000. And it would suck if you end up winning that single entry contest and you have the nuts and you win $10,000 instead of 100. Process over results every single time, right? So you have to be able to see that when you enter a field like that, especially on a slate like this, there are going to be so many people that end up running 150 lineups that could be the difference between you running George Hill or PJ Dozier or Mike Muscala or Isaiah Roby, anything like that, where you could have one combination, they have every single other combo possible, right? So it'd be nice if you hit the nuts with one lineup. Obviously, we all know the expression, it only takes one lineup to be able to do it. But please put that in a single entry contest and just make sure that you're getting different somewhere in your lineup. George Hill's coming in extremely high on for a value play that he hasn't been contributing all that much, especially with the way that he feels about the organization and the rules in the league right now. I feel like it's throwing it off his game too. There's a lot to consider outside the court. He's coming in roughly 35 to 40% owned at that $4,300 price tag. Great price tag, good value play, but a lot of people are going to be on him.
Yeah, just about everybody at that point. Michael, what's up, dude? Nuggets need. I put this up here for you, Gus. Nuggets need to drop MPJ and sign LiAngelo Ball. I think that's like the wrong ball, but it is a ball, so we gotta shout out. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Reggie says Dozier ain't starting, man. So you got a couple grammatical errors there, but other than that,
if you could make a lineup with 8 starters, I'd be very impressed.
Yeah, dude. With Joker. Brian, what's a better single entry lineup? Jay Clark, Hill, Dortz, Zion, Joker, Murray, Dozier, Redick, or Shea Glizzy, Dozier, JJ, Zion, Joker, Murray, Muscala, Yang, and Micah K. Williams, but then no UTA players. So you want a little bit of run back.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily the worst thing to be able to fade a team completely. I mean, and if there is a team that you could possibly get away with that on a slate like this, it would be Utah, especially if Joe Ingles comes back. Like, and it's not necessarily that, well, hey, it's not like they're going to put up 0 points. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not an idiot, but what I'm saying is that based on the prices that they have, nobody has been adjusted for the return of Joe Ingles. So you have a guy like Jordan Clarkson, who obviously I love. For anybody that's been keeping up with the content, whether it was this season, last season in the bubble, last season, regular season, like I own him in my fantasy league as well. Like I'm a big Jordan Clarkson guy. $6,500 for a guy that when he comes off the bench, he has the ball in his hands right now. Now with Joe Ingles possibly coming off the bench too, or maybe getting himself back into that starting lineup, they don't have to rotate Conley, Mitchell, and Clarkson, religiously, where it's like one comes out, one of the other three comes in. Now they have Joe Ingles to be able to carry the ball too. Bogdanovich is out there on the wing to be able to cover Ingles too. So it's like, Utah's a spot where based on their prices alone, I'm not opposed to fading them completely. So if you like the way your build looks with Kendrick Williams, I'm okay with not having any Utah guys. It's not the end of the world, especially on a 2-game slate. It's not like you're playing 6 guys from one team and then you're fading 9 other games on a 10-game slate. It's a 2-game slate. You got to be able to get different. Personally, I like the look of that second one a little better. Not really on Niang unless he's popping in the model though.
What about Dortz though? No, I'm kidding. All right. Oh, Brian, triple ball sack action. Yeah, yes, I mean, if only we could get the other ball in there. If we only could get the other ball in there, I think that would be fun. What do you think about a Zion fade?
That's what I'm on right now. Not sure if you got a chance to read the expert roundtable on the site today, but if you haven't, make sure to go check that out, www.windailysports.com. You'll get an article from myself, Brian, and Adam, where we kind of just tee it up with you guys with some slate breaking down questions and stuff like that. Instead of all of us writing articles and making it complicated for everybody, we just end up putting everything in one article, kind of just have all 3 of our thoughts there. And we do have one question where it's, if you're running multiple lineups or you're running a single lineup, which is a star that you're either going to fade in that single lineup or you're going to be underweight, meaning that if he's coming in 50% owned, who's a guy that you're going to have maybe 20%, 10%, like much less than what he's coming in projected at. And the 2 that I said there were Zion and Brandon Ingram.
Love it. Zion and Brandon. You love Brandon Ingram though.
Man,
we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Brian is waiting on the final model going K-Will right now. Ben, what's up, Ben? Hope work's good today. Jamal Murray, must have in cash.
I would not play cash on a 2-game slate. If you are, that's okay. I respect your decision. I'm never going to talk you off any players or anything or any contest, anything like that. All I could do is make recommendations. But on a 2-game slate, it's one single landmine and you're 20 points behind the cash line. So very risky to end up playing cash today. But if you are, he's coming in high owned. So I would play Jamal Murray.
There you go. Was asking earlier in Discord, does Rudy length beat Zion or Zion athleticism beat Rudy? That's a fun question.
That's a fun question. We're actually going to talk about that in the second game. There's a little bit of a theory I have there watching some film there on these Pelicans. So
interesting. Yeah, we'll get to the
remind me about that question
before we hop over there. O'Neal or Baisley?
Check the model. I don't know off the top of my head.
Model, and we have a while, guys. Again, the model starts updating 5 minutes every 5 minutes, an hour up to lock. And we still have like 3 hours to lock. So give it some time. Things are going to change, and that's always the most important thing. William, what's up, buddy? FanDuel GPP thoughts: Hill, Murray, G. Alexander, Mr. Glizzy. No, wrong one. Shea Gildress. Wait, now I'm confused. Ghost. Dozier, Ingram, Dort again, Roby Green, Jokic.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of Dort tonight, and honestly, it's not a pretty slate when I end up contemplating playing a lot of Lou Dort. So I'm definitely gonna have at least some, but it's getting to that point where I might have a lot, and makes for an ugly slate. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So.
Sweet games in the bubble. I think he had what it is. Honestly, 130-point game in the bubble, right? That was awesome.
You know what it is? It's the volume. The volume is just, you can't get away from it, especially on a 2-game slate. It's like But there's only a handful of guys that are going to take 15 to 20 shots, and Lu Dort's going to be one of them. So, you know what? If I'd add 5,100, if he flops, it's going to be because he goes 3 for 20 from the field, and I'd make the same decision 10 times out of 10, just because the one time that it does hit, it doesn't matter how many times you're right. It matters how much you win when you are right. So
there we go.
I like this lineup a lot, especially on FanDuel. I would be higher on Brandon Ingram there just because of like small forward's bad enough as it is, and now you got to roster 2 of them, and PJ Dozier's listed as a 2 guard. So I'm a little bit higher on Brandon Ingram on FanDuel, but I do like this lineup. Just be careful at point guard. A lot of people are going to end up locking in Jamal Murray and Mike Conley. So it's a good way to get different. I like it.
I love it. I love it.
And I like I like the JaMychal Green play as well. Very nice.
Oh, JaMychal Green. Flashbacks, man. I'm having flashbacks just for you guys.
Don't do that to me.
Just for you guys. Murray Hill, Dozier, Roby, Joker, SGA, Bogdan. Oh, that's nice. And
one thing I want to touch on about Nickeil Alexander-Walker, big fan, obviously, for obvious reasons. Zoe is back, so it's very risky to end up seeing what his minutes are going to be like. If you saw my hot take in the article, it's not going to happen tonight, but hopefully within a very short amount of time, Zoe hits the bench and they realize that Alexander-Walker fits that offense a lot better than Zoe. You guys know I like Zoe. I love him as a player, but Nal just fits that offense a lot better than he does. So it's possible that Zoe ends up hitting the bench and they run Alexander-Walker in that backcourt with Eric Bledsoe, but tonight's not the night. Zoe is back. He's still priced up. If he was priced way down because DraftKings at FanDuel knew that Zoe was coming back, then it'd be great to play him at $4,000. You know, get off a very chalky George Hill, but sitting up there at nearly $5,000 on both sites, it's very hard for me to get exposure to him tonight.
I love it. I love it. Let's go. Reggie is still here, dude. Just go home. Like, why are you here? I don't get it. Like, just leave.
We don't give lineups, bro. If you want to come in,
not allowed to give lineups. So if you've been playing daily
sports.com/chat, come and join us. You get 7 free days.
No, honestly, I don't even want him in there. He seems like a fucking asshole. So we don't even need him. You're good, man.
Money where our mouth is. It's completely up to him.
I don't care.
Make the choice.
You know, hey man, we're here to help people. If some dude just wants to be a dickhead on YouTube, go for it. But like, I don't get it. Whatever.
If that's what makes you sleep at night, go for
exactly, dude. I love it. All right, let's just move on to the other game. That way we can talk about that one and then get back to some of these lineups that people are sending over. Pop in here. Let's see. We got New Orleans. We have Utah. Jazz are favored by 6 points at home. Over under sits at a nice 217.5 with the juice going to the over. That's always something we like to see. Talk to me. I mean, you said, potentially fading a lot of this game. You're not really in on Ingram, or at least not 100% in on Ingram and Zion. Obviously, there's some dudes in this game. What is it about this game? What do you like and what do you not like, and how are you looking at it?
So if this was a 2019-2020 Pelicans-Utah game where they went over 5 games out of 5, including their 5th matchup in the bubble, I'd be all over this game and then riding out Joker with maybe Isaiah Roby, or if I could fit SGA, then I would just go 1 for 1 in that first game and then just load up on the second game. But with SVG coaching this new Pelicans team, they are playing ridiculously slow. They're playing more disciplined, and that's obviously it's good for them to mature as basketball players and people and be able to, run a real team system. No disrespect to Alvin Gentry, but he didn't really have a team system out there. So it's nice to be able to see them playing this kind of basketball, but it's absolutely no fun for DFS. So for me to be able to pay $9,100 for Brandon Ingram, even 79 for Zion, is Zion going to drop 40 fantasy points tonight? I mean, it's definitely a possibility. That's usually the range that he's going to be at, but he just doesn't fit my build with when considering the fact that I'm locking in Joker. It's not that he's a bad play. It's just it really doesn't fit my build. He's constantly between 35 to 45, and and it's not even just his game logs. I mean, we could look at game logs all we want. It's something that I preach not to do. So just to get into the analytics a little bit, it's more so just that they share the ball so well now under SVG between Eric Bledsoe, and we saw what Nickeil Alexander-Walker was doing, and now Zoe is back, and Brandon Ingram is going to get touches, and Steven Adams is going to get touches. It's like at one point they don't have that guy that can just say, "Give me the rock for 4 minutes straight and let me go bonkers." Like Brandon Ingram has the potential to do that. Zion has the raw talent to do that. They just don't do it. Everyone shares the rock. So from that standpoint, I have to take a stand. Unfortunately, I tried to end up building with them. I just didn't like the way that my other pieces ended up falling through. So and I'm going to be a hard pass on both of them tonight. That being said, Brandon Ingram's a much better play on FanDuel, where you heard me say it at least 5 times during the show. Small forward absolutely blows, and now you have to roster 2 of them. So a lot of people are going to be on Brandon Ingram, and rightfully so. You could get different by kind of taking dart throws on 2 different small forwards, but he's a much better play over there.
So then what do you like from this game? I guess, so, what are you liking?
Yeah, Spite is a little expensive in this matchup, and especially that, the Pelicans are playing kind of slow. He's somebody that I would have a little bit of interest in, but not all that much. But again, if you're making multiple lineups, definitely somebody that I would have exposure to because, albeit the rough season that he's been having so far, he's still a guy that has the potential to end up breaking a slate. So I'm definitely going to have some shares of Donovan Mitchell as well. Rudy Gobert is someone that ended up being priced down, and at 7,600, he's not the guy that's going to end up getting, 55 to 60 DK. He has the potential to end up dropping 50, but even if I were to get 40 to 45, it's going to put Rudy Gobert as one of the top scorers on the slate, given the nature of the 4 teams that we have, right? Exactly like what you said. It's not a Brooklyn Warriors and then the Battle of LA. It's OKC, Denver, and Utah Pelicans. So Rudy Gobert is going to be one of the highest scoring players on the slate. So when I end up looking at this mid to high range in the studs, obviously I'm locking in Jokic. I'm going to say that every 30 seconds if I have to, but outside of that, you need guys that are just going to put up the most amount of raw points to balance that value. So I'm more taking the approach that my value is going to be able to exceed expectations, and my guys that are in that mid-range, and obviously Joker is going to go nuclear, but when you end up getting in this 7, I'll say 6,800 because I know that's Mike Conley's price. So let's go 6,800 to $8,000 range. The Zions, the Conleys, the Goberts, the SGAs, those kind of guys, you just need them to end up hitting, maybe 5 times their price to be able to get those raw points. Those guys are going to be top 5 scores on the slate. So to be able to match that with your value that end up going nice and well, you'll be in good hands tonight.
I love it. All right, let us take this back out, go back to the chat, see what we got. I think we did. Did we do this one? SGA, Dozier, Dort, Bogdanovich, Joker. I don't think we did this one. Murray, O'Neal, Muscala.
Yeah, I like the Muscala play a lot from a leverage standpoint. So the one thing that I'm not sure how you landed on that. Obviously, we haven't spoken, me and you, but if you did land on that based on one theory, I'm hoping that it was that Isaiah Roby ends up getting into foul trouble against Joker, and that Muscala ends up coming in, and he has that potential he plays a similar style to Joker, that he gets out to the 3-point line, right? So he's able to defend the 3-point line. He's able to shoot the 3. It's a much better fit for them to run Mike Muscala on him versus Isaiah Roby. Obviously, either one of them is going to get torched in the paint and not the 3, just on the defensive end in general on the ball. But what he could do offensively, it might be a better fit there than Isaiah Roby. So I do like that play. Royce O'Neal is he's definitely someone that's interesting, but it's a 2-game slate. You know what I mean? So on a 2-game slate, would I play Royce O'Neal? Absolutely not, because it's like I always say, it's nice when you see PMR remaining on your DraftKings lineup, and then you see that it's Royce O'Neal, and then you just kind of just close the app and end up checking at the end of the slate what you ended up finishing with. But on a 2-game slate, he's certainly in play.
Always in play. 2-game slates are nuts. Glide, what's up, buddy? SGA, Dort, Kenrich, Roby, Joker, Dozier, Zion, Barton, GPP, DraftKings.
Well, Barton's interesting. Considering no MPJ again, he's probably going to get the start on the wing. Just I'm so locked in on Joker and Maul that I don't want any Denver player scoring other than PJ Dozier off the bench, and that's why we ended up having a question about PJ Dozier not starting. It's all about your lineup making sense. I can't play. Not only is it mathematically impossible to play 5 starters in a lineup, but it's more that you need to offset your usage on a 2-game slate. On a 10-game slate, yeah, you could load up on starters. There's plenty of value. You have teams like Houston that are playing shorthanded. Miami has 16 COVID cases per day now. You end up getting these cheap starters where, okay, it's great. You end up guys getting 30 to 36 minutes and they're near min price on DraftKings. We don't have that luxury on a 2-game slate. So you have to make sure that you're offsetting your usage to the point where it's like, okay, if I have Joker and Maul, I can't necessarily play Will Barton because at one point it'll just stop. Whereas when Maul comes out, Dozier comes in, the points keep flowing, right? So on a 10-game slate, like I said, I never do that. I don't play guys that sub in for one another. It's counterproductive. But on a 2-game slate, it's the opposite. Sometimes you need a situation like that where your points just keep on flowing. So because I'm so locked in on the Mall Joker duo, I'm not really on Will Barton, but he's a guy that can easily get there. It's a very easy matchup for him on the wing. OKC is just a dumpster fire right now, but specifically on the wing, it's pretty ugly for them.
Hopefully Al Horford gets traded soon for another first-round pick. They took a first-round pick for him. I think they
trade, if they trade Al Horford for a first-round pick, I'll be shocked.
Come on, it's Sam Presti. You can't be shocked by
that. He could just
trade.
He could just trade one of his, or like 6 of his 32nd round draft picks that he also got to acquire the first round if he wants to move up in a year.
That's true.
That's okay
we'll see. Definitely interested.
Take a shot every time you hear the Oklahoma City Thunder are on the clock.
I love it. Oh shit, that'd be a fun game. By the way, I know we're on B-ball, but just because I'm 2 for 2 on NHL, anyone on here, Win Daily Sports is the best. Where else can you cash out in a sport you knew nothing about, buddy? We have our PGA live stream coming up. If you want to win money in a sport you know nothing about, PGA live stream is where it's at. See ya. That dude is incredible. Back to a little NBA. I guess we have 2 lineups here, one or the other. SGA, Dozier, Dort, Bogdanovich, Joker, Murray, O'Neal, Muscala, or SGA, Bledsoe, Redick, Zion, Joker, Dozier, Dort, Muscala.
So I'm just trying to see the pivot to be able to narrow it down there. So you have Dozier in both, SGA in both, Joker in both,
Dort in both, Muscala in both. It looks like Redick,
so it's Bledsoe, Redick,
Zion
versus Bogdan, Murray, and O'Neal.
Mm-hmm.
The second option is safer. The first one has more upside. So it depends what kind of contest you're playing.
Depends on the contest. Let us know, Muhammad.
First one has more upside because of Murray and Bogdan.
Love it. Eric, what's up, buddy? Murray, Clarkson, Dozier, Bogdan, Joker, Morris, Baisley, Adams, DraftKings, GPP.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. Not a lot of people. Well, not a lot. I mean, everyone's going to be high on a 2-game slate. We say that over and over again, but more people are flocking to Isaiah Roby. So it's a nice leverage play there with Darius Baisley.
There you go. Brian, I like this. This is funny. Doesn't matter how many times you win. It matters how much you win when you do. Tattoo it when you take down. Take it, buddy.
That's something that I learned. It took a lot. I have a hard head. When I make my mind up on something, it's like I have very high expectations for myself and anything that I do in life. And it's like when I first got into the industry, I was like, man, I have to win every day. Like I have to win, and not just like not just double up. Like I need to win every day. Then I realized that you don't win every day in DFS. Whether you're a professional, whether you play whether you play $1 a day, whether you play $100 a day, you will not win every single day. And then I met Rocker, I met Jay, and they were like, bro, it doesn't matter how many times you're right. It matters how much you win when you are right. Because if you're min cashing, when everything you researched, you put in hours and hours and hours, and you min cash, it's a nice feeling you cashed. But there's something wrong with your process. If you nailed every single call that you made and you just got over the hump, then that's where you have to start making adjustments to your process. So it doesn't matter how many times you're right. It matters how much you win when you are right.
Just trust the model, everybody. Brian, fading all New Orleans players outside of Zion and Brandon Ingram. How do you feel about that?
That's another approach, right? So you could say like, hey, these guys just go nuts tonight. And that like you have to be able to make a lineup on virtually every night where your lineup makes sense. But especially on a 2-game slate, your lineup has to tell a story in the sense where it's like, I'm playing this player because ABC is going to happen and consequently XYZ will not happen. So if that's the route that you're taking, I just really hope you have a Joker in that lineup too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's not. Brian knows, and he makes a good point with Lonzo coming back. Back,
right? So there's only so mmany touches for that backcourt. Like, and you have to remember too is that Zoe rebounds pretty well. Like it just runs in the family. You see what LaMelo's doing out there too. It's just that the family in general rebounds really well, and Zoe is a very good rebounder for a guy that runs points. So the value for me for Bledsoe, especially at 6K. Like, you remember the first week where everyone was tilting about Bledsoe, saying like, "Oh man, he's only hitting 4 to 5x." I have this feeling that that's exactly what he's going to do tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And Reggie is gone. Haven't heard from him in a minute, thankfully, but appreciate this. Is a positive vibes only community, Brian. So thank you. Yes, that is true. We love positive vibes. We're here to help. We are here to help you guys win money. And hey, take advantage of it. Just check the model. You know how this works. Ben, I got Steven Adams in a lineup. Should I just pay up for Gobert instead?
If you have the potential to go 1-for-1, I mean, leaving that much money on the table, yeah, I would advise paying for Rudy Gobert, but I do like Steven Adams in a spot like this. So shout out Tulok again, man. This guy had one of the funniest things I've ever heard on a live stream. He goes, you have to match girth for girth. Whoa. Meaning you have to match big centers for big centers. Oh my God, I almost spat out my water. I'm watching the live stream and the guy goes, you have to match girth for girth. So seeing Adams up there, and I don't like looking back on one-on-one players' history all that much because things change from day to day, let alone year to year. But Steven Adams is just outside of the fact that he's historically done well versus Rudy Gobert just on the glass because he's needed. And Steven Adams is a fantasy point per minute machine. When he gets the minutes out there, he produces very well. In a game that Rudy Gobert is going to see 30 plus minutes, Steven Adams is going to be out there 30 plus minutes, and they're going to need him on the glass specifically. And he's a big dude. So being able to collect those rebounds, he's somebody that can get in on tight, and it's a great game plan, specifically when you're facing Utah. What?
You said
Did I say Dwight again?
There
Dwight. So when you end up facing Utah, it's always a nice option on the offensive end to say, hey, let's try and get Rudy Gobert into foul trouble. What better way to do that than to feed Steven Adams in the post early and often? So I do like Steven Adams on this 2-game slate. I feel like because especially on DraftKings, he's $100 within Eric Bledsoe. Everybody's going to go to Eric Bledsoe. I'll gladly take Steven Adams in that spot.
Take the $100. Best 3K plays, aka do we punt Josh Jackson?
Oh man, 3K. I don't know if there's anybody in that 3K range, but just off the top of my head, I remember on the model again, it's still 2.5 hours to lock there. So we know that everything's going to change between now and lock. But I know Isaiah Roby and PJ Dozier are ranked 1 and 2 as the top values right now.
Love it. Brian, big ball sack is tonight. Had to go different 20 entry lineup. Ball JJ Dort, BI Joker.
Play LaMelo. We can't have the ball sack lineup. That's no fun.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the ball sack lineup will come. Josh Jackson, LOL, and Rudy.
Just check the model to see if Josh Jackson's even projecting to play at all, but it's worth a shot, man. Like again, 2-game slate, no one's gonna own Josh Jackson. So if he ends up outscoring a guy like George Hill, and then on top of that, you're saving $1,300, you're jumping tens of thousands of people. So on a 20 entry lineup, I would imagine that's one of those contests. I think there's typically like 25 to 30,000 people in there. You're probably jumping a good third of the field if Josh Jackson outscores George Hill.
Love to see it. Ben, it's either Steven Adams Barton or Gobert and JJ Redick. Which pairing do you like more? Because that's important, right? It's nice to go Steven Adams.
It is. Thank you for
to make sure.
Thank you for asking that question because it makes all the difference in the world. Like for example, if you're saying, do I like this guy better or this guy, and they're $3,500 apart in salary, obviously we're going to take James Harden over, OG Anunoby. Shout out to my boy again. I have to mention him because he got another crazy performance yesterday. So obviously we're going to take James Harden over OG Anunoby. But if it's the difference between you playing, we'll use that 3K punt example, Josh Jackson, or you end up playing another guy in the mid-range like Jamal Murray, well then now it's a conversation to be had, right? So really depends on the rest of your lineup. Given that you're playing Steven Adams, I would really hope that this is on DraftKings because you need Joker. If this is FanDuel, I don't see Joker, and that's a problem. But if it's DraftKings and you're going double center, in that first option, make sure you don't have Jamal Murray and you run Joker Barton, and you're good to go with that first option. JJ Redick's another guy that takes a hit with that backcourt. Where everyone's talking about Nickeil Alexander-Walker. JJ Redick has been getting some solid run, but now it's all of a sudden it's a crowded backcourt. Not exactly the most talented one, but it's crowded back there in New Orleans.
People are there. Technically, people are there.
Bodies are there.
So. Would you go Bazley over Barton?
You know my answer.
Check the model. Here we go. There we go. Royce Clarkson, only if Ingles still out. I think there's a question mark.
Give me Clarkson all day. So I'm not sure if that's like, are they both in play? And in that I'll kind of answer this like twofold. Yes, they're both in play. It's a 2-game slate. Almost everybody's in play. If I can answer that in the most simplest way without sounding like an asshole, it's just the truth there. So like it's a 2-game slate. You got to be able to mix and match, but definitely 100% give me Clarkson over Royce O'Neal. That's for sure. If Ingles is still out.
Royce O'Neal, you'll love to see it. Yo, playa, what's up with the stash? Y'all looking like a 70s adult film star out here, playa.
It's quarantine season, bro. The guy looks like a stud.
100% what I'm going for, dude. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm going for. I love my mustache. The confidence is just through the goddamn roof. Brian, never fading Joker. I don't donate to DK. I'm here to win. Love it.
That's the thing. Okay, like, and we're gonna say this, and you know what? I feel like what's that guy's name there? That's no longer in the chat. There would be the first one to tag me on
Reggie.
Let me say this. Yeah, our boy Reggie. Yeah, Reggie Miller. So let me say this: if Joker completely flops tonight, I would make the same decision 100 times.
100% of the time.
It's process over results. Because if you fade Joker and you flaunt a $100,000 win on say like this, and you didn't run 150 lineups, please send me head-to-heads, because that it's like,
nice.
Bro, it's the 100% the wrong decision to fade Joker on a slate like this. To fade the guy he's the only guy that could put up 60 plus points on this slate. This is not bubble version Donovan Mitchell. And he has in his career, he'll have the potential. He's done it before. The way he's playing this season, if you told me Donovan Mitchell score 60 DraftKings points tonight, I would immediately say no. So he doesn't have it with the amount of usage Joker's taking. Maul doesn't have it in him. Who's putting up 60? SGA? Like there's nobody who's putting up 60. Rudy Gobert?
My futures bet on Donovan Mitchell doesn't look as awesome as it did when I put it.
I told you not to touch.
I mean, it's like $3, like whatever. It turns out
we got it at like plus
150.
10,000. We got
it was like some ridiculous. It was like plus 19.
I remember we did it together. We bet him and Maul. We did the Bubble Boys there together.
Yep. Hey man,
one was plus 10,000. One was plus 8 or 9.
Something ridiculous. I don't know. I also took Kevin Durant. Who else? I took Steph Curry when he went up to like plus 1,800. So that's my gotcha, buddy. Shake your hand. Here we go. Back to some questions. Donovan
down by 14 last night, by the way.
Yeah, I did. I went to sleep. Yeah, exactly. I went to sleep. I
was passed out. I woke up. I watched SportsCenter, and I was like, "Oh man, this game's long gone." And I checked my fast team because I have Steph Curry, obviously, and I was like, "Man, did he not play the fourth at all?" And then I hear them saying like, "Oh yeah, they're going on a run," and I was like, "Wait a second." And they come back down from 14. Crazy game.
Completely asleep for that one. Donovan or Glizzy?
Check them all. I'm pretty sure it has SGA over D Mitch though.
Love it. Not really sure what this is. Daddy rides llamas, ride the donkey. So now I'm just confused. What do you ride, Daddy? Tell me what you ride. Let's go to Berman. Someone turn the lights on again. Reggie's back. Oh shit. What's up, Reg? Long time no see. Oh man. Got a bunch of people saying hi, hello. Paul, as we were just talking about, Warriors are the biggest threat in the fourth quarter. They've been nuts, man. They've been nuts. Oh, I'm interviewing Kelly Oubre Sr. on this channel for the Win Daily Sports Show in a couple weeks. So he's got a really interesting story. So very excited to hear about that. So
definitely tune into that. That one's obviously I tune into everything, but that one's like I can't miss.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's going to be pretty cool. Oh, Daddy rides llamas. First time playing DFS.
Welcome. You'll absolutely love it.
Yeah. He then just says, "What do you think?" So really need a little bit more than that, but we're here, man. If you have questions, let us know.
If it's what do you think about the first time playing DFS? I love it. It's something that obviously we can make money in. And
wait, no, he got us. He got us. It was Reggie. That's awesome. I think it was just Reggie again.
So your burner account is Daddy Rides Llamas.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Nice.
You might want to somebody find the IP address to that one. Am I allowed to say that? I don't actually know. But that's probably some weird shit going on.
Marvin Live.
SGA Barton. There we go. Ooh. That's fun. GPPs.
Ooh. Man, this is it's such a 2021 slate. Me considering.
Wait, I'm sorry. Fucking Rock's in. Rock's on it. Daddy rides llamas. Rock. We need you to find where Daddy rides llama is. MVP. Don't put the information out there, but just in case.
MVP.
Appreciate you, Rock. All right, we'll go back.
SGA Barton, Murray Conley. I'm pretty sure that one would be really tight with the model too. So this is what I mean when you got to run multiple lineups. You duplicate your lineup and you run both single entry. I can't believe I'm playing Mike Conley in 2021. But give me the second option. Give me the second option for single entry.
That shot almost went down, man. It was literally in the basket.
That was like
in the basket, popped out, and then the Utah Jazz became bad. What was the Donovan Mitchell bet? Oh, Brian. So we had a preview show this year to talk about like championship odds and team over unders. And we did one show.
A lot of it's coming true, by the way. Like not to pump our own tires there, but I purposely watch content across the entire industry. It's not just to compare, but it's because we love what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's what we do all day. If we're not watching our own content, meaning other people that are live, I'm watching the golf show because C is on it. Let's be real.
My goodness.
So we watch all these shows, and I'm very happy to say that we were one of the only ones to talk up Chris Boucher.
Love it. Well, you're also a Raptors fan. That definitely
that definitely helps. Edge being north of the border, but still,
it happened. We did it. You said Aaron Baines? Question mark.
He blows.
And that's pretty much what
they just released. Alex Len. Aaron Baines is next.
They actually released Len?
Yeah, they released Alex Len.
How much did that guy get paid by Houston? That was like nuts. Shout out to him for getting. Was it Phoenix or Houston? I can't remember. He got.
I don't know who his agent is, but well done.
Yeah, shout out that guy. But anyway, back to Brian's question. What was the Donovan Mitchell bet? We did a preview show, MVP preview show, and I'm 100% on recency bias and what Donovan Mitchell did in the bubble, especially against that Denver team. I was like, come on, we got to put $2 on Donovan Mitchell to win the MVP because the possibility's there. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think that is kind of out of the picture now, but it was like $2 to win like 150 or something. It was just one of those stupid little dollars.
That was at the end of the show. We ended up talking about these long shots, like plus 10,000 or more. And we saw Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell, and we're like, you know what? We'll do it live on air. We'll put we'll put $2 or $5 on it, whatever we ended up doing there.
Also, it doesn't help that I have James Harden and KD. I think obviously that's going to be impossible for one of them to win now. We'll see though. Kyrie's back. He's coming back tomorrow, so I'm excited to do this show with you tomorrow. It's Wednesday, so I still get you, and we'll talk about that one. Back to the chat. Morris, Bledsoe, Clarkson, Dozier, Ingram, Barton. That sounded kind of like a little bit of a rhyme. Zion, Baisley, Joker.
It's FanDuel, I assume. Morris, Bledsoe. Okay, so not playing Maul or Conley is very bold on FanDuel. Could work.
Okay. 2-game slate. Anything's possible. Get back to us though, Antonio. Let us know. Yeah. This is a good sign though. As you get better and bigger, more haters. What's up? I appreciate that, Brian.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. Make sure you hit that. Smash
shout
that.
Out Brian. You know, he knows all of us love him, but shout out Brian. He's a real one. We had a funny bet going on. He asked me on a live stream, so obviously I had to say yes. And it was my Cowboys versus his Eagles, and he said whoever wins, the other person has to buy a jersey, like a t-shirt jersey, and take a picture with it. I told him I'll even do one better. I'll wear it on the live stream with sticks if the Eagles win. And he said, but you got to buy a Carson Wentz one because he loves Carson Wentz. And obviously Jalen Hurts had taken over at the time. So Cowboys ended up winning. He actually sent me a picture of him in the Cowboys, posted in the Discord chat. Shout out Brian. That was and if anyone wants a Dak jersey, I'm pretty sure he's selling it because I think that thing went right back into the box.
Just
correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but I don't blame you for went right back into the box.
Yeah, just give that one away, man. You don't need that. 2021 NBA champs. I think that's a fun question. No really other questions coming in. So if you guys got anything else, keep them coming. We'll be here for a couple more minutes before I have to go make dinner because my wife can't make dinner. So I get to
Let me check my futures bets.
Yeah, right. Do you have any props, any PRAs that you're liking? 2-game slate?
I was looking, man. It's really ugly tonight.
Yeah. We're not here to push anything.
You wouldn't force a bet on a night like tonight. If you want to throw the pizza money bet, and I said that a lot. I didn't even explain what it was. People were like, what is this guy talking about? Pizza money bet. This is something that Adam came up with. So If you don't know Adam, make sure you come and join our Discord chat. One of the best guys ever on the entire planet, not only in the DFS industry. His content is amazing. Even better dude. He came up with a thing where he goes 5 for 5 on player props all the time. That's just you bet every single one of them, you make money. Then he throws in a sixth one where he calls it the pizza money bet, where you throw like basically whatever you would spend on pizza that night. Hopefully you didn't smoke beforehand, but whatever you would spend on pizza that night.
And in Canada,
you throw it on and it's like, hey, just for fun. So if you want to do the pizza money bet, it would be Joker over 44.5 PRA because I have 100% Joker tonight and you want me to go nuclear. So, and you're going to have 100%. You're going to have 100% Joker too.
I am going to go nuclear. Yes, I'm going to have
everyone listening.
I might just take that over. I might just pop a couple bucks on that over. You already gave me another pizza money bet in hockey, so hopefully. Yes. And my wife's a Rangers fan. That game starts in a couple minutes.
There we go. See, it's meant to be.
Very excited. Yeah, I'll check that one out. But we do have Brian. He loves Monkey Knife Fight. Also,
he's been crushing it on MKF too.
I just want to let him know that it's MKF. It's not Monkey Knife Night Fight. Monkey Knife Fight. But appreciate you, Brian.
I like that version. That's like Monday Night Football. You get a nice.
Yeah.
I like that version a little better.
I love it. All right. So Donovan Mitchell under 24.5, Joker over 24.5, Brandon Ingram under 23.5, Zion under 22.5, under Jamal, right? No, I'm sorry. I think I fucked that up. No. I think I'm good. Under Jamal 21.5, over Shea Glizzy 21.5, over Bogdan. No,
he went under. He went under Bogdan, under Conley. I see it though. Yeah. I like this because you just told me you were making a lineup with BI and Zion, and now we're taking the unders on them on MKF. It's a nice little hedge you got going there. So
is it a hedge or
it's like a hedge on two different sites? You know, we're talking about hedging lineups.
Dimensional chess.
Right took it to the next. He took it to the next level and started hedging across different sites. So I love that. I like all of them. The one thing that I would say is that if you're going under on D Mitch, somebody's got to score. So you might want to take one of the overs on Bogdan or Conley. Get a little spicy and take both. But I would if D Mitch is going under, unless you think Clarkson comes in and drops like 40, in which that case that'd be great because I have him on my fantasy team.
Let's go.
But yeah, you might like based on this alone, if you're taking the under on D Mitch, probably would suggest making an over on either Bogdan or Conley because one of them's got to score.
Yeah, and Brian, please let us know if you are playing like 9-dimensional chess with these DFS sites, or if it's just kind of a little oversight on you.
Next level. We're talking about hedging lineups, hedging different sites. You love to see it.
Definitely. That's just how it works. But no, sincerely appreciate every single one of you in the chat. Rocker's already gone. He was here for Rock. You were here for like 10 minutes. Thanks for the breakdowns. No problem, dude. Hope you crush it. Win some money. Shoot us a tweet at us at Win Daily Sports if you win a bunch of money. We always love to see that. Oh, Brian says the jersey is 100% for free. He doesn't pay for shit. Love it.
Respect, bro. You're a real one. So
love it.
NBA champions. I didn't forget about you.
Oh yeah. What do we got?
My bets. There's one that's really interesting. I'm gonna stick to this one because I do not believe in the Brooklyn Nets. I have Indiana at ridiculous odds. You'd have to check what the odds are after they acquired Karis LeVert, but I have Indiana at ridiculous odds right now.
Really? What are the odds?
Obviously, I made these after our preseason bet. So
yeah, I see Indiana Pacers at plus 4,500 right now.
That's not okay. It's not all that different.
PointsBet.com promo code WinDaily500. What do you got?
I have it at plus 5,000, so it didn't move all that much.
Karis LeVert's hurt. He's like might not come back for a while. Kind of
and obviously the East got more loaded with Brooklyn making the acquisition of James Harden too. So that's one that I find really interesting. I would take Indiana in a 7-game series over Brooklyn.
Interesting.
It's a bonus.
Interesting. And then that's when we start hedging the fuck out of our bet. Yeah, I love that. Look at that. You brought up the bonus. Just say Tyler Hero.
Well, obviously we gotta mention Tyler Hero. Yeah, am I breathing?
Late. Are you?
Yeah,
you're good. Okay, cool.
Tyler Hero. See, Miami can't win without Tyler Hero.
That's true. Well, they won last night. Did he play last night? I don't think he played last night. Did he?
They can't win without Tyler Hero.
That's not the point. That's not the point of the conversation.
But I would pick up the phone so fast if they offered.
You were the Wizards and offer. Yes, we've done this. We're gonna keep doing it. We know. Anyway,
even Ash agrees with me. I saw her tweeted the other day. She goes, pick up the phone, Pat Riley, and go and get your man's Bradley Beal.
Grab him. Shout out Ashley Cole. Ashley Moss.
Please make that move because I have him on my fantasy team. I have Bradley Beal.
That would be sweet.
Please make that move. Give him to a winning team so he doesn't sit out during fantasy playoffs.
Bang, bang. Doesn't even look like the Wizards are going to make like the play-in game, unfortunately, yet. So we'll see. It's pretty bad.
But we did take the under on their winning percentage.
Yes, we did. That's nice.
I went back and rewatched it for like the 16th time because I'm still following all those.
Good.
Whether we were right or wrong, we're gonna talk about it at the end of the season.
Honesty is the best.
On all of them, it doesn't matter. We're gonna talk about it. So that's the transparency that we have.
I actually think we should probably do like a state of the NBA too. I'm thinking like quarterly-ish. When's the quarter? I mean, what, 72 games? So what's a quarter of the season? Like 15 would be 60, 18. So we got a little while. Actually, we're almost there, right?
We're almost there. It would be this weekend.
All right, cool. So maybe next week we'll do a little like state of the NBA. That'd be kind of fun. Just see what's going on. But that's fun. Make sure to follow us at Win Daily Sports. As Go said, hop over to windailysports.com/chat. And Rocker, I said /. Apparently nobody says /. But then Rock said you just say / because like nobody uses a front slash, I guess. So that's kind of on me, but it sounds better. /chat. I don't know. It's a me thing.
He texted me too. I found that hysterical.
Yeah. Okay, Rock. Thanks. And then he sent me a picture of steak because he was grilling steak. So
did he wish you happy birthday?
Yeah, every day. Every day wishes me happy birthday. So love him. He's incredible.
And he talked about your Manscaped product, obviously.
Yeah. He talked about the box. I think that's the most important part.
It's the box.
It's the box. Win Daily Sports /chat. 7 free days in our expert Discord chat. No Reggies allowed. Well, I'm sure Reggies are allowed. I think we actually do have a couple Reggies in there, but not that guy. He sucked. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We sincerely do appreciate you. It's my favorite part about this. Hanging out with Ghost for an hour, hanging out with you guys. Sincerely, it is one of my favorite hours of the day. In about an hour, we actually have our golf live stream coming up. That's actually on the Win Daily Sports page, so go hop over there. We have almost 700 subscribers, I think, like 650, which is sweet. We're just popping up the leaderboard. Sia is incredible. He's also extremely handsome, so that helps. So, definitely gets people to watch. So if you want to learn more about golf, make sure to hop on over there as well. Ghost, where can everybody find you on the internet?
At DFS_Ghost over on Twitter, and of course with the Win Daily team in our Discord chat. Come in. It's a ton of fun. Even if you're new to DFS, I saw someone post it's their first time playing tonight. Come on in. We'll be able to show you the ropes. And yeah, it's fun to win, but you have a ton of fun with our gift game as well. So
yes, gift game is on point. Some of the weirdest gifts you'll ever see in your life, and I promise you that. If you haven't seen the one of Pooh Bear, the Little Mermaid, and Donald Duck hanging out, that's really all I have to say about that. You can follow me at MichaelBrazil1. As I said, make sure to follow us at Win Daily Sports, windailysports.com/chat. See, it just doesn't sound right. /chat. Get a little more emphasis on it. windailysports.com/chat. If you haven't, before you leave, please hit that like button. That helps us out a lot. YouTube loves that shit. And then that way we can get more fun advertisers like Manscaped. I know you haven't heard them in a little bit. Don't worry. We're working on some fun stuff. So I promise you that. Other than that, guys, sincerely appreciate it for everyone in the chat, for Ghost, everyone over here at HNB Media, for myself and the Win Daily Sports team. We'll hope you make it a very profitable Tuesday night in the NBA.